Ford Motors is quietly accumulating for its next bullish leg, and no, it is not because of earnings, analysis, or some fancy economic theses. It's pure supply and demand, like this one here on the daily and another one here on the daily. So today I'm going to show you why the bigger time frames are fully in control, and why these daily imbalances, like the one at $12 per share and the other one at $10 per share, stand out like a lighthouse in the fog, and how you can learn to trade stocks intraday using swing trading imbalances and swing trading strategies using supply and demand, obviously. So let me explain to you, okay? So as you already know, I'm Alfonso Moreno from Center for Airline Trading Community, and I'm here to, well, try to teach you a little bit of supply and demand, how to trade stocks using real-time price action, like the one we have here on the Ford, and without zero fundamental noise. And okay, you are in the right place if you have been following me for some time. So we're going to talk about Ford. This is the daily time frame, and so that means that every single candlestick here represents 1 day of time, okay, since the New York market opens. So what I want to explain today is a little bit about price action and how these imbalances stand out, these impulses stand out from the rest of the candlestick pattern. So price action trading and together with supply and demand go hand in hand, because a strong impulse might potentially create an imbalance, but not all impulses like this one here or this one here are imbalances. So we have rules for that, no? And when a bigger time frame demand level is in control, well, guess what happens? This is what happens, okay? That's why the daily is printing new highs. So, and as you already know, patience is a superpower, okay? You don't need to be a superhero to have that superpower. You just need to have the, let's say, the balls to do it. Just to wait, not just something that your grandmother preached. So why Ford American stock, Ford Motors F on New York Stock Exchange on the daily time frame has been reacting exactly the way it has done when, well, if you start looking at the bigger time frames, if we go to the weekly, yeah, we go even to the monthly, we can see that price action is being accumulating, printing new highs, new highs, new highs, but then you realize why is, well, you may ask yourself why this is happening. Why is Ford from here, from last April 2025, it just started to rally? I mean, on the monthly, we just cannot see like great candlesticks with wide candlestick bodies and everything. But, well, it is rallying. So, and what is the key for Ford to rally like that? If you go even to the bigger time frames, okay, even to the 6 months time frame, this is where you have this guy, my friend. So we have the strongest impulse together with this one. These two, we called it, okay, on Center for Airline Trading Academy and Community. So this is the strongest rally almost ever after this rally over here in July 2020, no, July 1996. That was like 21 years ago. So this happens, and this impulse happened in during July 2020, 2022, that happened. And then it took 3 years to reach that level. And guess what? We call this one. We predicted this movement on Center for Airline Trading Community. We can predict with laser beam accuracy how these imbalances, when they are created, when they are valid, and also what we expect and when we expect that to happen. It may take a while, but it will happen. It's like I was analyzing a few days ago on Apple, okay? So Apple has been rallying non-stop, okay? Oops, sorry. This is not Apple. Okay, we are expecting this on Apple. The same way we expected this on Apple stock, the same way we expected this is what we're expecting. So can it continue to rally for longer? Yes, of course, but this is going to happen, okay? And when this happens, this is going to be a great position for long-term swing trading for Apple stock. Okay, but on Ford, this is what happens. So that's why when we go now to the smaller time frames, we can see that the month is rallying, that the weekly is rallying, that the daily is creating new demand levels. So everything falls into piece. The passes of the pistol fall into place. Okay, so when the big money accumulates and higher time frames, the bigger time frames like the quarterly, the 6 month, the yearly time frames, okay, the smaller time frames begin producing new imbalances like this one on the daily and like this one on the daily on Ford Motors. Okay, so when these imbalances are reached, then okay, let's buy here, let's buy. And when you take a look at these two structures here on the daily time frame on this stock on Ford Motors, we have strong departure, clear base, little tiny base, zero hesitation. I mean, it's like price takes like 2-3 weeks and then it drops down there, and look at the reaction. When this happens on Ford on the 27th, 28th, at the end of October 2025, a single candlestick running about 12%. Okay, well, this one happened to be an imbalance that was created with positive earnings, okay, and revenue. We don't pay attention to this because when price reaches these imbalances, it doesn't matter if it is positive or negative, it's going to react, okay, most of the time, okay, not 100%, but most of the time. But in this occasion, what we have here on Ford Motors is that price rallied strongly, created the strongest bullish candle in a long time. This is the largest candle ever in months, okay? And it was caused with positive news the last 23rd of October 2025. So fundamental analysis on stocks is not really needed. Everything is priced in when you use price action and supply and demand stock strategies. Like this one I am trying to teach you a little bit. So what happens? Price drops down there, and from there, look at the reaction, okay? When we take a look at the previous demand level on the daily, around $10 per share, this was not created by news, okay? There's no earning announcement there. But when price reaches that level was created in the beginning of July 2025. So the stock rallied, strong impulse, price action here stalling. We have now bearish price action, and it takes like about how many candlesticks? 18 bars. So that means 3 weeks full forward, okay, to drop on there. And what happens? It just rallied and reacted. And it reacted with positive news. Demand level, positive news. Price reacted. Earnings, okay, positive earnings announcements. This is like a positive earning announcement with the bigger time frame level in control, okay. Very large candlestick, the largest candlestick ever in weeks and months. And this earnings release produces a new demand level. You wait for 3 weeks, the trade happened. Here, we have earnings involved too, but this is the earnings, the positive earnings when the demand level is reached, then causes the reaction. Here, the earnings created the imbalance and not the reaction. So we can use the earnings like that, okay? But if we have like negative news here, believe me, this is going to happen, okay? Unless a bigger time frame supply levels in control. So these two daily demand levels are really jumping off the chart, okay, standing out for this American stock, for Ford Motors, and it slaps you in the face in a good way, you know what I mean? So each level is of these two demand levels on this stock. Ford Motors price action to price today is about $13 per share. We're still expecting price to rally higher, hopefully. And so each of these two levels show powerful bullish impulses, like this one made of large candlestick bodies. Exactly the type of behavior I teach inside the supply and demand course and the intraday course that I have created for you. And if we take a look at the website, on the website, I'm going to bring the website here. Oops, what happens here? Okay, here it is. So I'm going to look for Ford. There is a topic for every stock. So here we're going to see, okay, November 13, we were waiting for 4 to drop down there. It just didn't pull back, waiting for the pullback. Then the next update, daily uptrend demand level, mentioned the update has taken control, attempting to play out, and then again attempting to play out. And last Friday, this is the last update, I believe. Still in control, long position should be managed. So, and members can request updates. So you imagine that you want to track a trade and you want to make sure that it's a nice trade or what you want to do and everything. So you can request an update. So what I'm trying to tell you, these imbalances and the bigger demand levels that I am describing in these videos are not mentioned or called after the fact. They are mentioned and they are explained way before they happen, way before, weeks, days, even months before they happen. So this is the power of supply and demand and the power of price action trading for stocks. No indicators, no fundamental analysis needed, because everything is priced in candlesticks. Okay, most retail traders, stock retail traders, would try to explain forwards movement with news, earnings, inflation, Elon Musk tweets, CEOs saying something. I mean, that's nonsense. It doesn't make a change. But the bigger time frames, as I explained before, the imbalances were already in place, taking control before any of that happened. They knew, obviously. And as I explained deeply in my courses, the market moves because institutional orders, not headlines like Elon Musk's or Ford's CEO or whoever is interested, which fund is interested in buying shares or speculating with formal to stock shares. Okay, if the 6 months and the monthly demand level are in control, we expect that the weekly will continue to rally, will start to rally. If the weekly is in control, then the daily creates new demand levels here, like this one and this one, and that's exactly what Ford Motors stock is doing right now. So how do we trade intraday stocks? Stocks in intraday or using swing imbalances? Well, here's the beautiful part. I mean, when this demand level here takes control, you can use smaller time frame strategies, even supply and demand too, obviously in the smaller time frames. But since you know this is a high probability type of trade, Ford Motor was a great stock to buy at that moment, and now too, okay, for long term. So what can stock intraday traders do? Well, they can go to these smaller time frames, like the 1 hour, and wait for some kind of bullish price action, or maybe you have like Bollinger Bands or MACD or whatever, and you can start using that. So you can find new micro candlesticks, okay, imbalances on the top of the bigger time frames, like this one on the daily. You are basically, let's say, surfing on top of this massive wave or higher time frame demand levels already created and in control, like this one, and the bigger time frames do. And the bullish price action is everywhere. So this is how you learn to trade stocks, avoiding noise, avoiding FOMO, okay, and keep your weekends stress-free. So in the end, I mean, after talking for about 13 minutes, okay, this is very important what I'm saying, I believe, and some of you might not be aware of this. So you have to wait patiently for price to return to these imbalances on the daily or the bigger time frames. If it doesn't return, who cares? There are thousands of stocks, cryptos, and forex cross pairs. Markets reward patience, not impulsiveness. You know that already. If you want excitement, go skydiving, okay? If you want to make calm, consistent decisions, trade supply and demand without using indicators or any institutional fundamental analysis, okay? So if you want to learn how to read these charts, you are welcome to the community, to Set and Forget. And if you like these videos, click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, because I will be sharing more of these trades and insights every week. Have a great day.